Hello again, YouTube. I'm back with another informational video. And first of all, let me start off by saying, my channel is about ideas. This is YouTube for me is a creative outlet. It's a way for me to share ideas, some things that I've been thinking about or doing in terms of maybe renewable energy or some things around the house, or some thoughts that I have had, or some helpful tips for happy living, so to speak. It's more of a hobby than anything else. For me, it's not about subscriptions or anything. It's just a way for me to express some of my interest to those that may be interested, and maybe give ideas for some folks as well. In this video right here, I'm going to talk about some things that I use around the house that have kind of helped me, throughout the years, and some new additions as well. And one of these things, I'm going to speak about some of these household items, like appliances that I've been using for quite a while, and I'll tell you, what I think about each one. And let me start off by first talking about this new addition. This new addition right here is a kind of a convection oven from Oster. I don't know if you can see that emblem there, but it's by Oster. It's one of their larger models, and this idea was given to me to purchase this from a good friend of mine, and he had one, and I was over at his house, and he was telling me about it and how good it was cooking and so forth. And one day I decided to just simply take him up on his word and say, hey, I'm gonna go get one myself, and I did. And for a convection oven, this thing works great. It's designed, if you can look on the inside here, you can see that in the back there is like a curved back there, and it allows for large pans like this pizza pan here. This is a very large pizza pan. And I would consider it a full-size pizza pan, where you can actually put a pizza in there, a full-size 16-inch pizza, and cook it, and it'll cook very well. There is even a pizza setting, if you can see right there. And the reason I got it is it's 120 volts and about, I guess, around 1500 watts or something like that. And it works great. I've used it to cook pizza, obviously, and I've also used it to broil seafood like crab legs, chicken. For me, that's healthy eating. You can use this for a variety of things. I haven't baked any cakes or anything like that. I'm not a baker to that degree. But this is a great oven, and it's a nice replacement for this beast. This is the traditional way of cooking. You have an oven, with a range on top, and so forth. This thing here takes a lot of juice, okay? I still use it from time to time, but I don't use it as much, not like I used to. One thing about this, now I have used this to cook seafood. Take a cluster of snow crab legs and you put in there, and shrimp and things of that nature. And one thing that I don't like about it is with this, it does a great job of cooking the crab legs. It does an awesome job. It's just that afterwards, it took, to get the smell out of it, the seafood smell, took a long time. And I finally got it out, but you have to get some vinegar and some other things to clean it. But in a confined space like that, that's the only issue that I have. And it's more of, it's not really an issue, but hey, after you've cooked and you're like, oh man, crab legs are great, seafood is awesome, now I got to get the smell out. But that's the only beef that I've got. But anyway, this is a great addition to a household. And as far as replacing convection, a traditional oven range arrangement, as far as baking and cooking things like chicken and stuff like that, rotisserie style type chicken. This thing works great. Now this is another item that I bought. This is another convection type cooker. And I've had this for years, and I first started off with a NuWave. This thing right here is called, something Pro Line or whatever. Basically, you could find these online, and it's a clone of a NuWave. And the NuWave versions of these, they use a halogen light. This one here uses a traditional coil, a heating coil up in the top there, and it cooks with convection. And I've used this, and I've used this for a number of years, and it works great as well for healthy cooking. Doesn't take as much power as a traditional stove, and it works just fine. Again, this right here and the oven, they basically cook on the same principle. This one, obviously, I can't cook a pizza in this, you know, maybe one of those little small personal sized pizzas, but you know, this right here gives me a lot more flexibility in terms of the size of what I can cook. And this right here is very convenient as well. On top, you have a temperature setting and a time setting. And when you flip this handle down, it turns on, and you know, there's a fan on the inside. This thing works great. And again, it's 120 volts as well. Now, I'm about to do some juicing here. In there, this is my Vitamix. This is the older style Vitamix, but it works great. And I've used this for a number of years as well. And this is used to, you know, just simply make my own juice. I have in there carrots, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. I've got some tomatoes, and let's see, I put some vitamin supplements in there as well. And so and some distilled water. And you know, I use this for, you know, again, to get my daily dose of vitamins and minerals. And not only that, after this, I'll put 3 eggs and some soy milk and some craisins, basically cranberry type raisins, in there, and I'll have my protein as well. This thing right here is just for healthy, you know, healthy living. And you know, this juice right there, people are like, well, what does it taste like? It tastes like drinking raw vegetables. Does it taste good? Absolutely not. But the thing is, I've been doing it a number of years, and I don't drink this for taste. I drink this for health. And you know, I think this is a small, you know, sacrifice of taste is a small price to pay for health. Also, one thing that I've learned as well is I no longer throw away my watermelon rinds. I no longer throw them away. I actually cut the watermelon out and put them in a container, and then the rinds I cut up into smaller bits, you know, wash it off really well and freeze them. Because the rind, I've come to understand that the rinds also provide nutrients, valuable nutrients, as well as fiber and things like that. So just for you folks out there, you may want to, you know, when you get time, check out, you know, the benefits of juicing, you know, watermelon rinds. Some people say, ooh, man, that sounds nasty, or it's just unheard of. But actually, it's the watermelon. From what I understand, the watermelon is a fruit and a vegetable combined. The rind portion is the vegetable, and the meat, the red, yellow, or yellow meat, which depending on the watermelon you choose, is the vegetable. So you know, this is my Vitamix. It's a great little unit addition to any home. I've had videos of this. This is my water distiller. This thing has paid for itself over and over again. In the fact that I go through so much water now. I mean, I think I use this thing every other day, and it's a great addition to the home. That same friend that I mentioned that convinced me to purchase one of these, I convinced him to purchase one of these. So this is a H2O home, a water distiller. I've had it for a number of years, and it works great. The water tastes excellent, and I use it for cooking. I use it for making my own juices as well. And again, this is just another home distiller, 120 volt device. Again, I can run all of these off of my solar array. Now, this one right here. Now, I mentioned earlier that, you know, this is a thing of the past. I am convinced that this stove, this big beast of a stove, is something of the past, because you can replace this big beast of a stove with these items. Now, for the baking portion, I can use either either one of these convection appliances. Now, for the range or the range top portion, I use this. This is a NuWave induction range, and or what they call a precision induction cooktop. And I use this thing constantly. Okay, I use it to fry. I use it to cook stir fry. I use it to boil, you know, water. If I'm boiling eggs or potatoes and things of that nature. And now, don't get me wrong, I still use this for, you know, like holidays if the family's over and they want to cook a, you know, some big meal or something like that. You know, I'm like, okay, cool, fine. You can definitely use that. That's what it's there for. But for everyday use, I use this. And, you know, I use, you know, things like this. This is a, you know, a little wok here. I've got to clean it out. But you know, it's especially made for induction cooking, and you know, it fits right on top of this thing. This thing right here, it works as advertised. It doesn't take a lot of power, and it cooks the food much faster. And so this is again a NuWave. Well, it's called a NuWave 2 Induction Cooktop. So again, YouTube, this is about ideas. You know, some things that I have come to, you know, use in my own household. In the event of a power outage or anything like that, I have enough batteries and enough solar on my roof that I can use any one of these with no problem. You know, obviously I have to use it sparingly. You know, I can't use them all at the same time if you're running solar. But, you know, I can actually differentiate and say, hey, okay, maybe I'm gonna distill some water during this time, and I'm gonna cook some food, you know, on my induction range, you know, at another time. Now, one thing I want to show you too in relation to the induction cooktop. Hold on one second. Now, in relation to the induction cooktop, you have these saucepans here that you can use to boil water and things of that nature. So, I mean, this is a, you know, I can actually make soups or, you know, sauces and with this double boiler. There's a whole bunch of, you know, cookware that comes with this that you can buy from places like Walmart or, you know, Bed Bath & Beyond if you're in the United States. And these things work great. And so, again, YouTube, just want to share with you some of my ideas. And, you know, this thing right here for cooking pizza, you can't beat this thing. For rotisserie style chicken, both of these will be perfect. Just put your chicken in there and, you know, and you just cook it with the convection, and you'll get your rotisserie style chicken. After you finish the cooking, you could put it in the sauce of your choice. Whether it's you know, we happen to like sesame garlic sauce. You can have your own teriyaki or, you know, something like that, and you can have your rotisserie style chicken. I mean, you can cook with a whole bunch of items. I mean, you know, a whole bunch of using a lot of recipes with these things. But I try to keep it simple. And again, the reason I say, you know, again, these things is the reason I talk about these things is they are convenient for one thing. And I believe this is the way of the future. This is the future. The future is now, in a sense that, you know, this big beast of a thing, I mean, really, this is a relic of the past. It's still relevant today, of course, but it's a relic of the past, in my opinion. And with these little modern conveniences and with renewable energy, I mean, you can literally, you know, you can save money, conserve energy, and get the job done with these items. But again, YouTube, just want to kind of throw that out there for you, and you know, hopefully you guys can, you know, get some ideas from it. All right, take care.